Hi everyone, welcome to my minimalist house tour, the before and after of our home renovation part 1. So as there's so much to tell you about the renovation, I decided to split this video into 2 parts. Today, I really want to share with you our kitchen renovation, our new open plan living space, how we've turned quite a dingy and dark looking hallway into something light and airy, creating my perfect office and a slightly unusual downstairs loo. And I think we're just about finished, almost. You know what it's like when you do up your house. I don't think you ever feel that it's complete. You keep finding more and more things to do with it. But I figured if I don't show you now, it could be another year's time before I finally show you what we did with this house. So I'm really excited to share this video with you today and see what you all think. Now I'm not sure if I've got any footage of our old house, but essentially this house is the complete opposite. So we lived in an old farmhouse from the 1800s. It was grade 2 listed. And with that does come the odd challenge, shall we say. We had all these great intentions of what we were going to do with the house, and essentially we ran out of money, time, and enthusiasm to do it all. So as time went on and various life things happened, we both kind of craved a more minimalist house and a simpler life really. So I started to collate loads of inspiration from Pinterest over the past probably 5 years or so, imagining what my super modern minimalist house would look like. So this house was built in 2004, and when we bought it, it was in the pretty magnolia dado rail kind of state. It was kind of done, but not done to our tastes. So we've ripped everything out and started again. So where I'm sitting now, if you remember, this was a very long and quite an awkward shaped living room. I think a lot of new builds tend to have those long living rooms, but I found it really awkward. Do you put your sofa down one end? Do you put it down the other? And then you can't really see the telly. And we found ourselves not really using this whole side. But by splitting that room in 2, I've gained an office and somewhere I can work from home. And then this has become the open plan room. So creating this open plan space is a bit of a mission. So we had to knock down 2 separate walls. We didn't have an architect, we just knew in our head what we wanted and had a really good builder. In fact, I will link all of the people we used and where we bought things from. So the builders began knocking down those 2 walls, and as you can see, it was very, very messy. We had dust everywhere. But once the beams went in and the plaster started going on the walls, you could really get a good idea of where we were going with this plan. And this is what it looks like finished. I am so happy with this room. It's turned out exactly as we wanted it to. It is quite modern and minimalist, and I know that's not going to be everyone's taste, but it works really well for us as a family, but at the same time ticking lots of the aesthetic boxes of what we wanted to create. One of my favorite things about the entire space downstairs is that absolutely beautiful herringbone solid wood floor. I am so happy with my floor. I have become a little bit precious about it. I'd quite like people to levitate as they come through the door and nobody ever stand on it. I'm hoping that will start to wane because I do seem a bit OCD. Now I'm going to show you this picture now. This is our hideous looking black leather sofa. Well, it wasn't always hideous, I should say that. David bought it years ago when he lived in New York, and then it traveled to Ibiza, and then it went to London, and finally it ended up at our family home. So with various house moves, kids and cats, it's fair to say it got a little bit trashed. But when I started to look at new sofas, I really struggled to find one as comfy as this. And it's harder than you'd think to find a sofa that can fit 5 people on really comfortably all at the same time. But then I found this amazing company called Homecraft Interiors, which I shall link below because I would highly recommend them. And they took the sofa away and reupholstered it in a fabric that we chose. To say it's given it a new lease of life would be an understatement. I am so happy with how it's turned out. It's perfect for this room, it's perfect for us as a family, while at the same time being the most sustainable option as well. Now, as they were so good, the other thing we then got them to do were the curtains, and I'm really pleased with them as well. We had this idea that we wanted floor-to-ceiling wave curtains. I think we'd seen it in a few different hotels and liked the look. And in actual fact, we don't really close the curtains very much. It's more of a feature where you've got that lovely draping fabric in that beautiful wave shape just sat against the wall. I think it really softens the room, which is something that we needed to do. The dining room table I actually got from made.com, and though I had a bit of a mission finding the perfect wooden chairs to go with it, I eventually found some on La Redoute. So I got the kitchen from a company which was recommended by a friend. They're called Unlimited Kitchens. And it's a German design, which I think is why everything looks so sleek and perfectly in place. We went for 2 dishwashers in these lower cupboards here because, a little bit like our washing pile, the pots tend to get out of hand pretty quickly. And as you can see, we have so much cupboard space, which really helps to keep things tidy and minimal. Now, I wasn't too fussed about going for a hot tap. I had in my mind that it was a bit of a waste of money. But in actual fact, though David convinced me to have it, I'm really glad we did. It's really handy, obviously, and they're not as expensive as they used to be. And I think if you're specifically wanting to go for that minimalist look, it obviously keeps surfaces clean and tidy. There's no need for a kettle. We used to have a marble island at our old house, and we found it quite tricky to manage, especially with 3 boys. So we decided to go for quartz this time, but with a really similar look to Carrara marble, and I'm really, really happy with that. We put in 1 extra patio door, and in actual fact these 2 other patio doors are the original ones. And to save ourselves a few pennies, we actually spray painted these doors white on the inside and grey on the outside to match the other door, which was hugely cost effective. So if you are tempted to do the same thing and spray paint any UPVC windows or doors, there are a couple of tips I would say. 1, definitely don't do it yourself. I had a go, and actually the smell of it is so potent, I felt a bit sick and very dizzy. If you get a professional painter in, they know how to tape up the window properly so you don't get it all over the place. Do 4 or 5 coats of it, and you'll find, like we have, that even when you try and scratch it away, it's not coming off. It actually is a great alternative to having to replace all your windows and doors. So onto the hallway, which, if you remember, was pretty dark before, and that really awkward and pretty useless cloakroom that was just too small to actually work for us. So the best thing we did was knock it down, and it just opened up that space beautifully. We also turned the door into the open plan kitchen, living, dining room into glass and added a side glass panel as well. This just maximized the amount of light we could have running through the house and made a nice clean and bright entrance when you walk through the door. So on one side, David's not keen on me filming in here, so I'll just give you a quick look. This is his office, which is roughly the same size as mine, but he's just got this floor-to-ceiling collection of records, which I have to say is the edited version. So on the other side is my office, and where I work from home and do my styling videos, which, if you've followed me for a while, you'll have seen this many times before. I did decide to go for the loaf chair, but I kind of messed up because I think I procrastinated about which one for so long that I've gone to buy it and it says 12-week delivery, which is after Christmas. So I'm kind of kicking myself. I was really slow off the mark with that. And now I'm thinking, is it worth me waiting to see if there's a Boxing Day sale? Probably. Anyway, so I've brought down a chair that I had in my bedroom. We've had this one for years. I think I originally bought that for Albert's nursery, so my first child when he was born. My desk and my circular mirror came from Le Redoute, and my floor standing mirror, which I really love, came from made.com. And then to our party piece, our downstairs washroom, which David was insistent on after seeing these in Japan. We have got a Japanese toilet. It warms and heats and sprays your bottom should you wish it to. I think it was a ridiculous waste of money. The boys, however, think it is the best thing since sliced bread. I really hope you've liked this video and what we've done with this house. I feel like we've turned one fairly boring house into something far more interesting, and I'm really enjoying living in it. Do let me know your thoughts and any questions you might have in the comments section below. It's lovely to chat with you all, and of course I'm more than happy to help. Don't forget, I have linked all the services we used and would recommend in the description box below. There's never been a better time to support your independence, and hopefully you agree they've all done a really beautiful job. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm going to save showing you the upstairs until another edition because I feel like I've talked for England and I really should stop. I'm still waiting for our new carpet to arrive, so as soon as that's in, do keep a lookout for part 2 of this home renovation. I'll be showing you upstairs in this house where we've transformed and gained a bedroom and finally got rid of one pretty awful bathroom. So hopefully you'll join me for that video too, and thank you so much for watching.